Welcome back to another Excel tutorial. Today I want to explore how to use the column function. The column function in Excel returns the column number of a reference you specify. If you do not specify a reference, the function returns the column number of the cell in which the column function appears. This can be particularly useful for creating formulas that need to adjust based on their column placement or for extracting information about the layout of a spreadsheet. The column function belongs to the reference group of functions within Excel and will return the column number of the reference. The syntax starts by column and then you type in the reference, where reference is optional and is the cell or range of cells for which to return the column number. If omitted, the column of the cell containing the formula is returned. So in this case, if I just type in equal column and don't put in any arguments, it will just return a 3. As column C is integer of or is column number 3, and we can of course drag this to the left side and also to the right side. And as you can see, column A would be 1, column B equals to 2, column C equals 3, and so on. But we can delete this again because we don't need it anymore. And we can use the column function as well with a reference. So if I'm inside this cell, for example, and I want to say, please give me the column of my order ID because I need it for another formula, then I can hit enter and Excel will return the 3. As I'm now inserting a reference, you don't need to put the column function inside the column itself. You can place it anywhere in the spreadsheet and you just have to type in a reference and then you'll still get the column number. And but these examples are not really real life examples. In real life, you would use it inside more complex formulas most of the time. For example, if you work with vertical lookups, and we can do that as an example as well. So you can see we have row IDs, order IDs, customer sales, and quantity. And let's say we just want to get the order ID of row ID, I don't know, 3 and 8, maybe. We can use the column function for this. We start by an equal sign and we are saying VLOOKUP. And now we have lookup value. We want to look up 3 and 8, right? So we are marking these cells, and then we can fix those cells by clicking, in my case, Fn, F4. But in general, you just have to click F4 to fix the cells, then followed by semicolon, then the table array, where we want to look up those numbers, which is this table. And we can also just place it like this because the last row is empty. We can also go for the complete table, and then it's just saying table for all. Then we type in the semicolon again. And then we need the column index number, and this is where the column function comes into the game. Now we can, instead of writing the column index number, or maybe we don't know what the column index number is, we can use the column function. We are just saying column, open parenthesis, and then we have the reference. And as we said, we want to get the order ID of the rows. Okay, so we are clicking just any, you could put in any cell, it doesn't matter. I will just go by the header of order ID. And then we are closing the parenthesis again. And now in this case, as we are not starting in column A, we need to subtract 1. If we would start in column A, we could just use the column formula as it is. But in this case, column A is empty, so we need to subtract 1. But in most cases, or if you work with data, you won't have an empty column A. And then you can just use the column function as it is without subtracting anything. And afterwards, we need a range lookup. We don't want this, so we can just type in 0, which stands for false. We need exact matches, and then we can close the parenthesis, and now we can hit enter. And as you can see, we will get the order ID of row ID 3. So we could double check it. CA, matches, 2016 matches, and then we have 138, 688, 138, 688. So seems like it worked. And yeah, this is like a real example how I use the column function when I work with data. You could also count the reference. So as I said, in VLOOKUP function, you also you always have a column index number, and if you have a large set of data and you're going to column Z or AZ or whatever, then it's really a hassle to count all the columns. And then you can just use the column function. Then you click any cell inside this column, and then you can do a VLOOKUP pretty simple without any counting or anything, and it just makes life easier, I think. Yeah, and this is basically how you use the column function. I hope you liked this video. If you did like it, please give it a thumbs up and follow, and see you in the next video.